How is everybody doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Joining for the first time, joining us for the second time, joining the series for the first time. How is it? We are seeing some similar names, familiar names. Okay, we have Aisha. Aisha, I remember Ali. Yeah, Feroz, Saima. Good to have you guys. Alhamdulillah. Okay, चलें फिर फटाफट बताएं. From where are you joining? What do you do? And one thing that you are grateful to Allah Ta'ala today. Istanbul, can I speak in Urdu or should I speak in English? Everybody comfortable with both?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam.
I'm Fizza Tamazdur joining from Hyderabad. I'm doing
Welcome,
my
Fizza.
third year MBBS.
Welcome, Fizza. Good to have you. English and Hindi is also perfect. Urdu is also perfect. Can I use both languages or only English?
Yeah, both will be comfortable.
Both, yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. ठीक है. चलें फिर बताएं. बाकी लोग नहीं जवाब दे रहे हैं. गुजरात, बड़ौदा. Good to have you, Nishad. Mumbai. Good to have you, Firoz. एक एक करके एक एक सवाल का जवाब देंगे. एक साथ नहीं देंगे. चले बढ़िया हो गया फिर. एक एक करके दीजिए. What do you do? Architect Firoz. Okay, good to have you. Grateful नहीं है किसी भी चीज के लिए. अरे अरे. IT professional, Mumbai. Good to have you. किसी भी चीज के लिए ग्रेटफुल नहीं आ रहे तो बुरा लग गया मुझे बहुत. बिजनौर. ओके. गुड टू हैव यू निशात. चलें. नहीं बताएंगे. बाकी लोग नहीं है ग्रेटफुल. नहीं बताना चाह रहे कहाँ से ज्वाइन करते हैं. सीक्रेट रखेंगे. ठीक है चलें. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. May Allah make it of benefit, inshallah. Okay, so again, I am back with my nagging reminders. So, starting with a conscious intention that Allah Ta'ala make this knowledge beneficial and protect us from any knowledge that does not benefit. And may Allah Ta'ala make this time heavy on our scales and give us the basira to understand whatever we are learning and give me the clarity of speech to convey whatever I have planned to convey. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما. Again, I'm going to remind you, and I'll not stop doing this because it's very important. Okay, remove all distractions, make this time sacred. If you can switch your videos on, I'll not complain. I'll be very happy. I'll feel less alone. If you want to not switch it on, it's fine, as long as you are able to concentrate. A book and a pen is not only recommended, but it is kind of extremely essential for this session because we are going to be doing a lot of writing today. And inshallah, with those reminders, let us begin. लैपटॉप पे हैं तो टैब्स क्लोज कर दें. मोबाइल पे है तो नोटिफिकेशंस ऑफ कर दें. जो कर सकते हैं कर लें बिकॉज it's very important and you will see why. Today we are going to also deep dive why I give these nagging reminders. So these are some of the things that we'll be doing today, inshallah. Ready है? शुरू करें? ठीक है, आपने बहुत सारा चैट में एंगेज करना है मुझसे, आप अनम्यूट करके भी बात कर सकते हैं। बिल्कुल भी मतलब ऐसा नहीं सोचना है कि कोई रॉन्ग आंसर है। इट इज ऑल अ डिस्कशन and we are going to learn more from discussion than any PPT is going to teach you, right? So please feel free to share what are your thoughts. Feel free to share what you think. Feel free to share your own reflections. Because the more we engage in a session, the more we absorb whatever we are learning, and the more it stays with us. And it does not become a race for consuming more and more content, so to say, yes? So please engage when I'm asking so that I can understand that I'm making sense or I'm not making sense. Okay? चलिए फिर बताएं, why time management? क्यों सीखना है हमने टाइम मैनेजमेंट संडे की सुबह सुबह?
Is a very precious thing, and Allah will take hisab on the day of Qiyamah.
Okay, I think your voice was a little muffled for me, but I think I caught what you said. So yes. Anybody else? Oh, to increase productivity. Okay. बताएं यार, 20 लोग हैं, कोई दो ही जवाब आए हैं. And Allah Ta'ala will take hisab of our time on the day of Qiyamah. Exactly. Yeah, we'll see that. Uh, how important that is to use our time efficiently. Okay. No more answers. Only 4 answers. बाकी लोग कुछ भी बोल दें. Why time management? Out of all the topics that we could have spoken about, why time management? Why are you wanting to learn time management? What is your struggle with time management? Yeah, it is a asset. या बड़े ही फिलोसॉफिकल जवाब आ रहे हैं यार. मतलब बड़ा ही मतलब इन डेप्थ कॉन्वर्सेशन हो जाएगा, इतना फिलोसॉफिकल. अरे बताएं क्यों, क्या मतलब, व्हाई डू यू वांट टू लर्न, व्हाट आर यू स्ट्रगलिंग विद? To make our task go in flow and have discipline. Most of the time people complain I'm not getting time to do so and so. Let's not talk about people for now, let's talk about you. आपने क्यों ये सीखना है? डिस्ट्रैक्शंस. अरे बढ़िया बढ़िया हो गया, टाइम मैनेजमेंट. लेकिन व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द टॉपिक, ऑफ टुडेज टॉपिक? इट्स अ मिथ. फिर कैसे करेंगे टाइम मैनेजमेंट? इज इट अ मिथ? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? चलें ठीक है, डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन हो गया, अभी और आगे और डिफिकल्ट आएगा. डिफाइन करें टाइम. लेट अस डिफाइन टाइम. Aisha, don't give all the right answers so soon. Relax. Just kidding. Okay. Define time for me, please. Guys, there are no right answers. Google पे से देख के नहीं देना है. आपने जो लगता है वो देना है.
24 hours a day is the time.
Okay, that is the quantity of time. What is time? Passage of life. Such philosophical answers. Such technical words. Guys, come on. What is time? Passage of life makes sense. 24 hours also makes sense, but it is more on the number side, quantity side. To measure something is time. Okay. What is time? Unit measurement of life. Okay. Minutes, hours, days. It is the unit. It is the unit. What is the definition? डेफिनेशन और यूनिट में फर्क होता है ना. बहुत सारे इंजीनियरिंग और मैथ्स वाले बैकग्राउंड वाले हैं. आई एम zero in all those aspects, so correct me if I'm wrong, but definition is not equal to the measurement, right? What is definition of time? In how much time can one do a task? Again, it is on the quantity side. Definition माने मतलब. It helps us understand when things happen and how long they last. It is benefit, maybe. Something that keeps depleting. It is a quality, it is not definition. Your non-rechargeable or philosophical answers lie or सताए मुझे. Ongoing sequence of events. Oh God. ये तो मुझे भी नहीं समझ रहा है. इतना difficult definitions आप दे रहे हैं. Period. Wow. Okay, guys, I'll stop troubling you. We can't define time, and that is why it was so difficult to define it. And on my screen, you will see why it is not possible to define something like time, because some things are just beyond our definitions. Not everything can be wrapped up in a definition. And why we are going through the meanings, so to say, of a particular word is to understand that sometimes कुछ चीजें हमारे conversations और communication में इतनी common हो जाती हैं कि we start to feel that these are things that, you know, are the reality, or these are things that have a definition, but actually they don't. And throughout the entire session, we'll see why that is the case. And, you know, if you see the definitions that are there, you will see that they are actually not defining, but they are saying कि बस कुछ है, मतलब we can't define it. Stephen Hawking also in his book says that I cannot define time. I think, I don't remember the name of the book, but yeah. It's something that is very relative and you cannot define it. And this is the reason that we'll break down the another word that is attached to time, which is management. What does management mean? अब ये तो बता सकते हैं, इसका definition है. चलें, I'll not cheat. Management is to manage something. What else? In a planned manner. Okay. Plan and organize. What else? Come on. What is management? To control something. Okay. Organizing effectively is management. Okay. Utilize efficiently is management. But okay. Doing thing in a planned and organized way, to execute task in an organized way. Okay. Process to utilize resources for maximum benefit and minimizing wastage. This cannot get more technical for me. Chaleं. Thank you for your answers. Management का जो from where the word comes, the word manage, it's actually, अगर उसका root ढूंढने जाएंगे, so it is relates to handling, training, or directing. And the origin is that how people used to handle horses and or how people handle horses, so to say. That is the root of that word, right? To handle it, to train it, or to direct it, right? Or to control it, so to say. Somebody said control, right? So if this is management, then is this possible to do with time? Can we control time? Can we train time? Can we direct time? Such diplomatic answers. Only one answer you can give. Just kidding. No. बाकी लोग इतने सारे सबने definitions दिए हैं, बताएं कि if that is the definition of time, sorry, if that is the definition of management, then can I do that with time? No, but we can manage task assigned for that time. Yeah, okay. Yes. How can we manage something that is not in our control? That we don't own? Can't control, but optimize. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys for your answers. Faraz has hit the nail on the head. We cannot manage time. We can manage only ourselves. So is time management a myth or a reality? Come on, guys. I have given it to you. Myth or reality? मान गए मिथ मिथ है, सब मान गए तो ही मैं आगे बढ़ूंगी. Just kidding. नहीं जो माने वो एंड बाय द एंड ऑफ द सेशन मान जाएंगे. चलिए कोई बात नहीं. So the ayat that was recite was of Surah Asr, and it says that wal asr, right? The swearing के अल्लाह ताला ने कसम खाई है of time. And whenever Allah Ta'ala takes qasam in the Quran, it highlights that not only the significance, but also that उस चीज से ultimate truth establish होता है. The oath by time signifies that time is witness to the truth that man is in sheer loss, except for the people who possess four qualities. We have heard Surah Asr, we recite it, we know it by meaning, right? And we know that man is in sheer loss. And if we think about it, that why Allah Ta'ala is saying that man is in sheer loss, उन्होंने टाइम के साथ ये चीज को क्यों जोड़ा है? And for people who know tafsir, who have read tafsir, they might know the technical answer of it. And we will try to deep dive from the real life struggles that we go through and find out that how this statement is becoming true day by day, day by day. And most of us are not even able to realize that it is happening with us through different ways, right? And if we have the realization, we are struggling to find out how to come out of it, right? So हम सभी ने बहुत सारे time management के शायद तरीके भी अपनाए होंगे, you know. Some, like how many of you must have managed to, you know, get a timetable made, or you know, follow a schedule or something or the other. Are there people who have tried that? What was the success with it? Following a schedule, following a routine. Is it easy? How is it? Any thoughts, any feedback? For people who must have tried to have a routine, for people who must have tried to have a schedule, how is it? Is it getting easier to manage schedule and routine, or is it getting difficult day by day? Making routine is easy, but following is hard. Okay. Difficult until it becomes a habit. Okay. One question that we need to hold in our minds is why is it hard? And stay with that question. We'll figure out, inshallah. And difficult until it becomes a habit. So, why is it not becoming a habit? Is something that we can possibly keep that question in front of us. That what is the obstacle कि ये नहीं बन पा रही है habit, and अगर हम analyze करेंगे like around you and throughout some of the past years, we must have seen that technology wise हम बहुत आगे गए हैं. Apps, convenience, grocery apps, this app, that app, traveling app. The level of convenience is increasing and time saving apps are also increasing. Is that correct or not? We have more ease than what was before. We have more convenience than what was before. More time saving equipments, tools, technologies, whether it is apps or whether it is something else, so to say. It is there, right? We cannot deny that. Okay, we are living at the peak of convenience, so to say, right? Whether it is Zomato, which is not recommended, but it is there, right? And whether it is your grocery apps or so to say, correct? Then if we have so much time saving apps and so much technology, so much convenience than what was accessible before, why are we still struggling? Like if I would have taken 2 hours to do grocery in a week and 1 hour or 3 hours to travel by changing 4 trains, and now we have metro, so to say, I am saving, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 hours every week that was not accessible to me 10 years before. Then why am I still not able to manage time? Oh, I know that is not something that we can do, but you get the point, right? We have time wasting apps. ठीक है, apps हैं. Okay. Okay. Distraction has increased. चलें. Let us deep dive. Not using the saved time on the right task. And the reason is that these questions frame the sentences and questions and note it in front of you. That if I have saved time, why I'm not able to use it on the right task? And or is it just the apps, the social media apps that we are going to put all the blame to? Many people must have uninstalled social media and still they would have found it very difficult to manage time. And like many of you answered, right, in the initial when I was asking what is time, we are struggling. We don't know why we are struggling. We think it is apps and social media apps. We we are not able to figure out that itna time hai, lekin ja kahan raha hai. One of the sayings of the scholars that kind of puts things into perspectives is time is like a block of ice which is constantly melting. A human being who does not spend his time consciously is like a seller of ice who, instead of selling his wares, keeps them to enjoy their coolness. This seller of ice will soon be sorry for his heedlessness as he watches the ice melt before him. Such a human being will find only sorrow on the day of judgment, right? So the few words that are in green is something that you can note down, and we will connect it eventually when everything we wrap up. And why this quote is going to define the session, and why the surah defines this session, and why it is so important for us to deep dive into this, right? We all know, okay, it is the most precious asset. We know that, Allah Ta'ala is going to hold us accountable for our time. We know that it should not be wasted. We know all these things. Aisa nahi hai, we don't know. The hard part is that in spite of all this knowledge, our inability to make conscious use of what is available to us. So much knowledge, so much self-help books, so many podcasts, so many, schedule and routine apps available, planners available, this and that, this and that, this and that. So much is available to us, and yet, if we are struggling, means we are missing a piece of the puzzle. Does that make sense? Yeah, if it not the apps, then we will blame entirely the shaitan. Uh, let us find out if there is more to the puzzle, right? See, shaitan is a reality, we will not deny it. Apps are a reality, we will not deny it. But rather than putting blame on anything or anyone, we will see where we are the uh, ones that are not doing what is necessary, right? And this is what is all the reflections that we are going to have today. Uh, we'll analyze our own selves rather than putting blame on anybody or anything, right? So yes, uh, pen and paper ready. बुक ही होगी आपके पास तो बढ़िया हो जाएगा बिकॉज वी आर गोइंग टू हैव मल्टीपल एक्सरसाइजेस एंड इंशाल्लाह every exercise will connect with the other. तो ऐसे लिखने के बाद फाड़ के फेंक नहीं देना. Try to keep it. And this activity is very simple. You have to review your day, right? And write everything that you can think of that you do in a day, right? And then allocate on a judgment basis that how much time each day goes for what task. And if you want to do the same for weekends, I'll be very happy. How to allocate for the weekdays, कि कितने hours, goes for what. And it will differ from person to person depending on the life stages that they are in. This is just an example that is there on my screen. And you can take at least 8 to 10 minutes to do this. There is no rush. Okay, done है? चलें. Now, what we are going to be doing is total the number of hours that we have identified. And is it coming to 24? Or is it not coming to 24? And if it is not coming to 24, then how many hours are not identified? Okay. And if it is unidentified, then what is the thief of my time? और ये thief सबके लिए अलग अलग हो सकते हैं, सिमिलर हो सकते हैं, बट आपके लिए वो thief क्या है वो आपने आइडेंटिफाई करना है. सबके लिए 24 हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है. What is the thief? Okay. Guys, टोटल कर रहे हैं, डिस्टर्ब कर रही हूँ मैं. What is the thief? For those who are not able to identify 24, what is the thief? नहीं आइडेंटिफाई कर पा रहे हैं थीफ, वो भी बता सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है. Mainly social media. Okay. Yeah, that is for many of us. Sleeping. Yes, that is for many of us, but we don't realize. What else? सबके हो गए 24. अरे वाह. I was setting each hour for some activity. How to determine which is? Sorry, Rizwana, I did not understand. Sorry, I did not understand what this means. Is there any more people who were not able to total it up to 24? सब मतलब काफी लोग होना चाहिए because it's pretty common. या नहीं बताना चाह रहे हैं then also it's okay. But this is the entire point of the exercise, that we identify the unidentified hours. Does this make sense? सबका 24 हो रहा है. How many identified hours for you guys? For Saima, for Abrar, for others that I cannot see the names. Faraz. Personal message करना चाह रहे हैं वो भी कर सकते हैं अगर if you want to, don't put it on the group. Becomes 24. Becomes. Okay. चलें, ठीक है. Are there more thieves? Okay. Yeah, Rizwana. Yeah, we some of us are not very schedule oriented person, but from judgment basis, if I take a audit of my day, am I able to figure out where my day is going? That is the point of this exercise. So yes, are there more thieves? You will judge your own self, Rizana, don't worry. अब जो hours हमने आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं, ठीक है, सबने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिए थे ना 24 आवर्स मेजॉरिटी ने. अब इस आइडेंटिफाइड आवर्स में are there thieves? So I go for 8 hours to work, but am I working diligently in those 8 hours with focus and with the I'm doing justice to the time that I'm being paid for? Or am I scrolling after sending out one email? Or am I going for tea breaks 10 times in a day? Maybe I am not disallowed, but I'm just giving examples. वो जो वक्त हमने आइडेंटिफाई किया है, क्या उसमें भी थीफ हैं? और अगर हैं तो क्या है? Rizwana is saying my thief is procrastination and tiredness. Okay. Faraz is saying could be chit-chatting for some people. Yes. Saima is saying laziness. Okay. What more? Full focus के साथ हम कर रहे हैं, जो कर रहे हैं. Scrolling through e-commerce apps. Yes. Add to cart, remove from cart. नहीं बता रहे हैं. Lack of concentration. Thank you, Rizwana. You have given me what I want. Okay. तो ठीक है, बहुत से लोगों ने 24 आवर्स आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया है, कुछ लोगों ने मे बी उससे कम किया हो, कुछ थीव्स हैं जो उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई किए हो, कुछ थीव्स ऐसे हैं जो अनआइडेंटिफाइड हो। एंड one of the thief of this era is distraction. Even though when I'm doing something, what I know I'm doing, okay, so I am going for a walk, but am I only walking, or am I distracted even when I'm walking, when I'm giving time to myself? When I'm working, I'm supposed to be working, but am I working with as much focus as I would want, or it is spent on multiple tabs, talking, calls, screens, shifting from one task to another? How is it, right? It might be different for different people, but the point is that जो hours हमें identified भी होते हैं कि हम 8 घंटा तो काम पे होते हैं, या 2 घंटा तो हम नमाज में होते हैं, या etc etc. Distraction is the unidentified thief of our lives. So again, just audit कि how long can I focus at a given task, और ये हर इंसान के लिए अलग होगा, किसी के लिए 5 मिनट हो सकता है, किसी के लिए 10 मिनट, किसी के लिए 20, डिपेंड्स, इट इज इंडिविजुअल थिंग। तो आप अपने लिए ये चीज नोट कर सकते हैं, हाउ लॉन्ग कैन आई फोकस, इस वो कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं दैट डिस्ट्रैक्ट्स मी, or third thing is it focus easy for me? If it is easy, then you can rate it as 1. And if it is hard, then on a spectrum of 1 to 10, how hard, right? If it is extremely focusing is easy, then 1. And if it is very hard, then it is 10. But just rate yourself on a spectrum to get an idea that how much distraction is distracting me. Does that make sense, guys? Gives me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up if I make sense, if I do not make sense. क्या करना है, समझ रहा है? करें 2-3 मिनट लें, सोचें, and give me a thumbs up once you have written these for yourself.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you repeat that again, please?
What ये activity में क्या करना है?
G, please.
Okay,
Once more.
okay. So 3 things, right? How long can I focus at a given task? So you can take any task that you want, right? कोई भी ले लें, work का लेना है work ले लें, study लेना है study ले लें, और कुछ और आप करते हैं जो आप जिस पे आपको अपना focus assess करने में आसानी होगी, आप वो ले लें, ठीक है? Then आप find out करें कि मुझे usually कोई भी काम करते हुए क्या distract करता है, exactly क्या चीजें हैं. Maybe it is outside the environment, maybe it is inside me. What are the things that distracts me usually? And is focus easy for me, or it is hard for me? Or rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. If it is extremely easy, focus is like extremely perfect for you, it is 1. And if it is extremely hard, then it is 10. And maybe you can rate yourself. Maybe I'm a 8, maybe I'm a 9. No, it's not very bad. Maybe I'm a 5. It depends, right? On each person. 1 is easy and 10 is hard. कुछ भी कर लें, चले कुछ भी बना लें, आपका जैसा मर्जी हो, मैंने अपने हिसाब से बताया, बट इट्स नॉट अ रॉकेट साइंस कि आप चेंज नहीं कर सकते, कर लें. ज्यादा आपको नंबर्स अच्छे नहीं लगते तो रिलेटिवली इजी, मॉडरेटली हार्ड, ये सब भी यूज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, कर लें तो थम्स अप दें. जा सकते हैं आगे. यू गाइज आर राइटिंग. Okay, Terry. Then if you want to get more specific, then you can write के mobile phones में exactly क्या. I am not going to be giving solutions majorly in this session, but since everybody is writing, I thought I'll just guide you a little if you want. Mobile phone में exactly क्या? Unnecessary calls, notifications, notification का sound, alarms, spam calls. Get more specific. Exactly phone में my urge to check the phone. कोई एक रील जो पेज पे बहुत अच्छी आती है उस रील को चेक करने का मन हो रहा है. Exactly, you can get more specific. कि आपको जो डिस्ट्रैक्ट करता है उसमें exactly मुझे क्या करता है. Messages from my friends or notifications. Then you have identified कि exactly क्या करता है. One step ahead is how can I deal with this? Can I switch my notifications off or not? Is a decision you will have to take, and I cannot say exactly what you should be doing, but some decisions will be made in this session, inshallah, and that is what will change the game for us, inshallah. Okay, कर लिया सबने. चले आगे, चले. चल सकते हैं, thumbs up दे दें. Urge to unlock the phone and open the apps. हाँ, ये urge कहाँ से आ रही है ये देखना पड़ेगा ना. ऐसे ही तो नहीं आ रही है ये. क्या है ये source of the urge? बढ़िया है. ठीक है, चलें अब बताएं. Distraction is a choice or not? चलें बताएं. It's a choice. बट सोशल मीडिया हमें डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देता है. शैतान हमें लेजी कर देता है. एप्स हमें डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देते हैं. तो हाउ इज इट अ चॉइस? अननेसेसरी कॉल्स आ जाते हैं. Unnecessary guest, so to say, just on a light note. I'm joking. Please don't hold me accountable for this, guys. Yeah. Habit और addiction का फर्क समझना is a very important for us. That is why. चलें बताएं choice है कि नहीं है. Nishad is saying yes. Faraz is saying subconscious choice. More technical terms are coming. Abrar is saying it's a choice. We can avoid it with firm determination. So it is a choice. सब मान रहे हैं choice है. Choice है पक्का. चलें. It is a choice. Right? It is a choice. Why it is a choice? Because we love distractions. और इसलिए जब हम ये सेंटेंसेस बोलते हैं कि ये मुझे डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देता है. नाउ फ्लिप द स्क्रिप्ट एंड से आई चूज डिस्ट्रैक्शन. आई चूज इट. आई चूज to check my phone. I choose to skip from one tab to another. I choose to be talking to someone and then in the middle of the conversation go and check my phone. I choose to scroll and scroll even when I have a task from my office assigned to me in front of me. I choose. और ये चीजें मेरे साथ हो जाती हैं वाला जब लैंग्वेज हम यूज करेंगे तो वी गिव कंट्रोल टू समबडी एल्स सो दैट हम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अवॉइड कर पाए. And we are very good at doing that. और वही हमने नहीं करना है. So every pleasurable distraction, and आपने ये वो list बनाई होगी, right? कि what distracts me. Most of those, if not all, will be pleasurable distractions. And that is why they attract us a lot. Wow, नायका पे सेल लगी होगी, फ्लिपकार्ट पे सेल लगी होगी, जाके जल्दी से ले लेते हैं नहीं तो आउट ऑफ स्टॉक दिखाएंगे हमारा माइंड मैनिपुलेट करने के लिए. It is attractive. Shopping is attractive. Ordering something is attractive. Checking a reel, getting a dopamine hit is attractive. Trying to switch from difficult task to less difficult task is attractive ताकि हमको completion bias जो हमारे mind में होता है, जो task को check करने का जो urge होता है वो meet हो. Distraction is extremely attractive for us. And that is why we choose it. So the hard part that is coming up, but before that is, what are the things that attracts me which I choose to be distracted by? पिछले साइड में हमने क्या लिखा है कि what distracts me usually, तो मैंने लिखा होगा कि मुझे शैतान डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देता है, मुझे फोन डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देता है, मुझे लोग आके डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर देते हैं, मुझे XYZ कर देता है। यहाँ पे आपने उसको और फिल्टर डाउन करना है और एक फ्लिप करना है स्क्रिप्ट को बाय सेइंग के what are the things that I choose to be distracted by, because मैंने बोला कि distraction is a choice, right? We all said that. So does it make sense? Does this question make sense? कि मैं किन चीजों से अट्रैक्ट होकर उसे चूज करती हूँ डिस्ट्रैक्ट होने के लिए। कर लें तो बताएं, थम्स अप दें। जवाब नहीं आ रहा हो तो भी इट्स ओके, बड़ा सा क्वेश्चन मार्क लेते हैं। Seeking validation, work is boring, lack of attention is distraction. Yeah, सही है। अपना अपना लिस्ट, अपना अपना मुहासबा, अपनी अपनी अकाउंटेबिलिटी कर रहे हैं हम। So even if some things are very hard to answer now, it's fine. You don't have to have all the answers immediately. But I hope at least the questions make sense, right? ठीक है, तो हमने एक डिस्ट्रैक्शन की लिस्ट बनाई थी यहाँ पे, ठीक है। फिर हमने ये बोला कि ठीक है डिस्ट्रैक्शन चॉइस है, तो व्हाट अट्रैक्ट्स मी दैट आई चूज इट टू बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड बाय, मैंने ये भी बोला, ठीक है। तो अब ये एक सवाल आता है कि इज माय फोकस वर्दी ऑफ प्रिजर्विंग? Yes. Is that a unanimous yes? Yes. Is my focus worthy of preserving? बोलेंगे अरे मरियम, what kind of nonsense question you're asking? Of course it is worthy. Of course it is worthy of preserving. It is so important. तो एक बात बताएं फिर, if I'm making a choice to be constantly distracted, then how is my focus worth preserving? अपने ही लॉजिक में हमें गैप दिख रहा है। Do you guys see the gap? और मैं एक्सप्लेन करूं? दिखना चाहिए। नहीं दिख रहा है फराज, ऐसे मत बोलो। ठीक है चलो, और किसी को नहीं दिख रहा है या सब समझ गए हैं कि हमारे लॉजिक में गैप है? आयशा को समझ गया है, और कोई है? चलें फिर से। आई एम सेइंग डिस्ट्रैक्शन इज अ चॉइस, ठीक है। थैंक यू फॉर आस्किंग फराज, आई विल एक्सप्लेन। ठीक है, डिस्ट्रैक्शन चॉइस है। आई एम चूजिंग कि मैं इससे डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाऊं, और डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाऊंगा तो फोकस तो सफर करेगा ही करेगा, फिर भी मैं चूज कर रहा हूँ। और इधर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि इट इज वर्दी ऑफ प्रिजर्विंग ऑल्सो। तो एक एंड ऑफ द स्पेक्ट्रम पे आई एम सेइंग कि आई चूज टू बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड, अदर एंड ऑफ द स्पेक्ट्रम पे आई एम सेइंग कि बट माय फोकस इज आल्सो वर्दी ऑफ प्रिजर्विंग। तो ये दो बोट में जो हम सवारी कर रहे हैं वो हमें दिख रहा है। डज इट मेक सेंस फॉर अस? दिस इज हाउ वी क्वेश्चन आवर ओन लॉजिक्स, this is how we take our own accountability. We find the gaps between our own understanding. Yeah, because I know कि focus बहुत important है, पर फिर भी मैं कैसे चूज कर रहा हूँ डिस्ट्रैक्ट होने को? फिर ये एक सवाल आई थिंक हमें दिन रात सोचना चाहिए, एंड बिकॉज इट इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट एंड इट इज सो हार्ड, राइट? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah, okay. So Before we move to the solution side, if there is any confusion or any doubt, you can ask, so that when we are talking about the solutions, we are on the same page. And I'll not give a lot of solutions because that is not what I do usually. I want us all to think, question our own logic, find what is missing from the puzzle, our own selves. Because हम सबकी लाइफ बहुत डिफरेंट है और हमारे नेचर बहुत डिफरेंट है. If I give you solutions that are not applicable to you and it is only applicable to my life situation, it's of not much use. But inshallah, some things I will brush up, and I hope इसमें से एक भी चीज अगर हम apply कर पाए, I hope that will be a sadke jariya for me and for you too. So when we talk about solutions, we know that time नहीं हो सकता मैनेज, एंड यू गाइस सेड आल्सो कि हम सिर्फ खुद को मैनेज कर सकते हैं, राइट? और खुद को भी मतलब क्या, खुद को मतलब क्या? वन ऑफ द थिंग दैट वी स्पोक अबाउट इज आवर फोकस, is our energy, is our intention, is our impact, so to say, right? कि what I am able to manage is not my time, and that is why no matter how many schedules I make, मैं उस पे कभी रह नहीं पाता या रह नहीं पाती. And it's not that schedules are bad, right? I'm not saying it, they are bad. I'm just saying to understand the core of the concern before we jump to the conclusions, right? And the core is that we need to manage our own selves from the perspective of focus, from the perspective of energy. Because wherever our focus is, it will expand. If our focus is on the right things, you will feel a lot good about it. But if it is on things that you know that are not good for you, घंटे घंटे निकल जाएंगे and nothing will be achieved. And we have all gone through that, right? It's not something that is a secret. And we have some narrations from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we have come across multiple times, that the hour shall not be established until time is constricted, and the year is like a month is like the week, and the week is like the day, and the day is like the hour, and the hour is like the flare of the fire. And there's no denial of the fact that time is getting constricted. ऐसा नहीं है कि the barakah or the blessing from the time is being taken away. And we have to be very conscious to understand कि ये जो हमने सारे distractions discuss किए हैं, this is perhaps some of the things that is taking this barakah away. And that is why we are always listening sentences like पता नहीं time कहाँ चले जाता है, ये साल भी इतने जल्दी चला गया, टाइम मिलता ही नहीं है मुझे. These sentences are so commonly heard, but hardly reflected upon. के इतना ज्यादा कन्वीनियंस के एपिटोम पे हम जी रहे हैं, पीक पे जी रहे हैं, फिर भी 10 साल पहले भी टाइम नहीं मिल रहा था, आज भी टाइम नहीं मिल रहा. और अगर बरका वक्त से जा रही है तो उसमें मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना है? And that is why we have another narration which says that there are two blessings that many people are deceived into losing, and that is health and free time. So the words is deceived into losing means there is a deception जो हमारी नजर के सामने शायद पर्दा बन के खड़ा है, इसलिए हम रियलाइज नहीं कर पाते हैं कि आई एम एक्चुअली चूजिंग टू बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड. एंड आप देखेंगे कि every year, every day, maybe, I don't know, the number of apps that are coming up, absolutely unnecessary, absolutely pathetic apps, but still somehow we install them. We are such intellectuals, and yet we spend time on them, and we consume things that are by all means highly inappropriate as well. So the world is continuously being designed to make us believe subconsciously that distraction is a luxury. And if you can afford it, then why not? बहुत सारे हम चीज पे इन्वेस्ट करते हैं ये सोच के कि OMG I can afford it, but it's actually going to distract me. It's going to take so many hours out of my life I cannot even calculate. And you will see, अगर आप थोड़ा एनालाइज करेंगे, how capital या how capitalistic या how economic, how money making the business of distraction is. And it will make us feel कि, oh OMG I can afford a PS5 or I can afford a I don't know whatever next gadget is available in the market. So it's a sign of status, it's a sign of luxury, so to say. Then if I can afford it, then why not? Why not? अगर हम इतने ज्यादा इंटेलेक्चुअल्स हैं, राइट, हमें पता है कि फोन टाइम खा जाता है, डिस्ट्रैक्शन फोकस खा जाता है, लेकिन 1 घंटे बिना फोन के हमारा जिगर का टुकड़ा हमें नहीं दिखेगा ना, विल लूज आवर माइंड्स, विल लूज आवर माइंड्स। और अगर कोई भी आउटडेटेड फोन अगर हमें दिलाने की कोशिश करेगा ना, हम उससे रिश्ता तोड़ देंगे। हाउ डेयर यू, हाउ डेयर यू, यू आर गिविंग मी अ 10,000 का फोन, associating so much luxury from a thing. I'm just speaking about phone and gaming gadgets, but आप इससे multiply कर लें, environment analyze कर लें और multiply कर लें. People assume that oh my god, this is a luxury, but it is heedlessness, it is a distraction, and it is highly problematic, and we'll see how, right? So again, there was one more reflection if you want to do this is if something is deceiving me, then what is deceiving me into believing that I have time? तो हमने what is my deception? हमने distractions लिखा है, अगर उसमें कुछ मिस हो गया है तो यहाँ इस फेज में वो ऐड हो सकता है. What is the thing that has put a parda in front of my eyes and a veil in front of my eyes, and I'm not able to even figure out, because the world has subconsciously made me believe that, oh, you can afford it, take it. And we can see that, you know, with the rise of the so-called capitalistic nature that has been put into everything, from restaurants to gadgets to vacations to everything. I mean, वेकेशन प्लान करने जाएंगे तो रिलैक्सेशन की जगह जो लेवल का मेंटल टॉर्चर होगा हमें, I don't know how many of you have gone through, but oh my God. Oh my God. For those who have gone through, they know. This does not mean vacations is a bad thing or something. I'm just trying to bring the attention to the fact that is this something that I am choosing, or I am being made to believe that I am choosing, but actually I'm tricked into believing the same. And it is no more a choice that I have, but I have been programmed in such a way कि मैं वही choose करूंगा जो वो चाहते हैं मैं choose करूं. Or number of Amazon deliveries we have in a year, or whatever deliveries we have in a year, is a sign of this very fact कि बहुत सी चीजें हम choose भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ऑटो पायलट पे हम किए जा रहे हैं because it is convenient. And this is not limited to products. And I think in the next lecture, we are going to explore this phenomena from a very different angle. It's about very, very big life choices that we have made is because of this subconscious programming. And that is giving us so much anxiety and pain, and everybody is struggling. So yeah, this makes sense. आगे जा सकते हैं? Yeah. So, I mean, we have understood the core, we have understood the cause. And maybe the next question people are going to ask is, हाँ तो how do I fix it? How to restore everything? How to get my focus back? Tips batao, tips batao, tricks batao, techniques batao. No. Before the how, the why needs to be extremely clear. Why should I preserve my focus? I said it is very important for me to preserve it. Why? Because somehow अगर how why clear होता तो इस लेवल का जो हम स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं वो शायद हम नहीं करते स्टिल हम ह्यूमंस हैं तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब मुक्त हो जाएंगे हर चीज से करेंगे स्ट्रगल बट जिस लेवल का हम स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं एंड लोग स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं इट इज बिकॉज समवेयर द वाई इज नॉट क्लियर एंड इसलिए फ्रॉम कभी हम कोई रूटीन वाला ऐप डाउनलोड करके ठीक करते हैं कभी हम कोई स्ट्रैटेजी अपनाते हैं कभी कोई हम शेड्यूल बनाते हैं कोई हैबिट अपनाना चाहते हैं कोई प्रोडक्टिविटी का पॉडकास्ट देख लेते हैं कोई रील देख लेते हैं फिर it's constantly trial and error and that will never end. The struggle will never end. That is true कि maybe हम humans से तो शायद वो कभी end ना हो but to what extent am I going to allow that is a decision that I take because in no time attraction को addiction बनने में it takes not really a lot of time. How easily an attraction can be a distraction, how easily it can become obsession, how easily it's going to become addiction and then lead to a destruction eventually, which was the quote from that scholar, right? Okay, regret hoga sirf, regret hoga, and that is destruction, right? So ये सारी अगर जो हम हमारे लिए अलग अलग अट्रैक्शंस थी हमारे लिए अलग अलग डिस्ट्रैक्शंस थी अगर वो एडिक्शन का शेप ले रही हैं कि मैंने एक हफ्ते में एक पार्सल प्लेस नहीं किया तो मुझे ऊपर नीचे होने लगता है कि अरे इतने मतलब वो अमेजोन डिलीवरी वाले घर पे पूछने आ जाएगा कि अरे ठीक हो गया आप ऑर्डर नहीं किया आपने इतने दिन से इज इट दैट द केस विथ मी इज इट एन एडिक्शन एडिक्शन कैन बी पीपल एज वेल राइट इट कैन बी पीपल एज वेल कि इससे बात किए बिना तो मतलब मेरी तो सुबह ही नहीं हो रही है शाम ही नहीं हो रही है and are my attractions becoming addictions and if they are becoming addictions it is high time we reevaluate ke why should I really preserve my focus in a time when the world is going to make me believe ke chalta hai. So what is the thing that makes our why crystal clear? What is that one solid unchanging constant, permanent thing that is like a shield for us, so to say. What makes our why crystal clear? कुछ भी जवाब दे सकते हैं कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब साइमा थोड़ा रुक के देना होता है ठीक है चले साइमा ने बता दिया हाँ meaning right our purpose we created you to worship us तो वो पर्पस अगर लॉस्ट हो रहा है ना या वो लाइफ का जो मीनिंग कहीं खो गया है ना तो वो वापस ढूंढ ढूंढ के लाना पड़ेगा और अगर कभी था ही नहीं तो ढूंढना पड़ेगा जाके बिकॉज द एप्स आर नॉट गोइंग टू स्टॉप शैतान इज नॉट गोइंग टू स्टॉप बहुत ही डेडिकेटेड डिसिप्लिन होता है शैतान he'll put us to shame इतना डेडिकेशन है उसमें right apps are not going to stop the engineers are there working with full force to create apps that are going to really wow our minds it is meaning it is the purpose and I know how abstract that sounds कि क्या meaning क्या purpose maybe if this is for the first time you're listening but आप uncomfortable हो जाएं बस सुन के uncomfortable हो जाएं ट्रिगर हो जाएं ये सोचें कि हाँ मुझे नहीं पता है मुझे पता करना है मुझे ये कॉन्स्टेंटली डिस्ट्रैक्टेड तरीके से लाइफ नहीं गुजारनी है आई कैन नॉट keep on shifting from one thing to another and at the end of my life I'm like where exactly did my life go a lot of people can benefit from the time that we have given away to distractions And once we identify that, magic or miracles are going to happen. Magic is not the right word. Miracles are going to happen. कि मेरे जो 24 घंटे में से 22 घंटे अकाउंट हो रहे हैं ना, तो वो जो 2 घंटा है उसमें मैंने ऐसा कुछ करना है कि दुनिया याद रख जाए और अल्लाह ताला के यहाँ याद आऊं. एक्चुअली वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट ठीक है, थोड़ा थोड़ा इधर उधर. miracles happen, otherwise we'll wait for our entire lives और हम यही कहते रह जाएंगे कि टाइम ही नहीं मिला, जो करना था उसके लिए टाइम ही नहीं मिला, रिटायरमेंट के बाद करेंगे या अर्ली रिटायरमेंट ले लेंगे 35 पे तब करेंगे, एंड फलाना ढिमकाना. वी हैव ऑल आवर एक्सक्यूजेस. What gives life meaning is our purpose. What is our purpose is defined by Allah Ta'ala, लेकिन हमने अपने लाइफ में उसको ढूंढना है कि how can I convert this life into something that is devoted to the cause of Allah in a manner कि फिर मेरे दिमाग और दिल को चैन ही नहीं आए जब तक मैं अल्लाह ताला से मिलने के लिए सामने खड़ा नहीं हो जाता. फिर डिस्ट्रैक्शन अफोर्डेबल ही नहीं होगा. थोड़ा थोड़ा होगा क्योंकि हम लोग इंसान हैं, एंड वी गिव आवरसेल्फ द बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट कि ठीक है, अल्लाह ताला विल फॉरगिव अस फॉर दिस स्मॉल. लेकिन जब इतना ज्यादा होने लगे कि एडिक्शन बन जाए, ऑब्सेशन बन जाए, उसके बिना रहा नहीं जाए, whether it is object or something else, we need to find out our why. और चैन से नहीं बैठिएगा ये जब तक नहीं मिलेगा, राइट? फाइंड आउट जो भी कर सकते हैं करें. बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं इसको ढूंढने के लिए, बट सारे जवाब अभी नहीं मिलेंगे. थोड़ा सा अनकंफर्टेबल होना है हमने, बट फाइंड आउट, राइट? Ask yourself some questions and give meaning to your life. That is something that will change the game. It will just change the game. And I know it sounds very, very abstract, very, very philosophical, but I hope I'm able to convey what I want to convey. Or if I'm not, then please let me know. I'll share the slide where I had the questions noted, but I actually wanted you guys to think on this a little more. और फिर अगले सेशन में I'll give you what are the 5 questions that you can ask to give your life purpose or meaning, so to say. सही है, आगे बढ़े? क्लियर है? मेरा मोनोलॉग खत्म हो गया है, बस एक एक्सरसाइज बाकी है. If possible, give one example कि मीनिंग कैसे फाइंड करना है. अच्छा, one thing that you have a lot of fire into your heart to do something. एक ऐसी चीज जो आपको, वो सिर्फ अल्लाह ताला ने सलाहियत आप में दी है, वो क्वालिटी अल्लाह ताला ने आप में दी है. एंड सिर्फ का मतलब होता है कि यू हैव दैट क्वालिटी. मे बी मेनी मोर पीपल हैव इट, बट यू ऑल्सो हैव इट, एंड that is what makes you unique. And whether you are good at writing, whether you are good at organizing, whether you are good at communicating, whether you are good at creating some apps that will change the game for Muslims, right? Maybe you are creating an ecosystem where things are going to become a lot more convenient for Muslims at large or for the society at large. Find out कि society में क्या चीज की जरूरत है, क्या चीज मिसिंग है, क्या चीज लोगों की लाइफ को बहुत ज्यादा बेटर कर देगी, और ये हर इंसान के लिए डिफरेंट होगा. I always think this example, and it actually keeps me disturbed for a very long time कि जो लेवल का टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास आज है, ठीक है, आज जो लेवल की इंजीनियर्स हमारे पास हैं, जो मैनुअल स्कैवेंजिंग होती है इंडिया में, वो अब तक कैसे चालू है? मैनुअल स्कैवेंजिंग पता है क्या होता है? नो? There are human beings that go into the underground gutters to clean it, and the way it is done, it is going to it is going to, I mean, human beings going inside human waste for hours on end where they cannot breathe to clean. How is that still a manual process in a world of technology? That should not let any person with the skills to change the game to sleep. चाहे फिर वो ह्यूमन राइट्स एडवोकेट्स हों, चाहे फिर वो इंजीनियर्स हों, चाहे फिर वो कोई और हो, कि ये चीज मैंने रुका के ही दुनिया से जाना है. This needs to change. So similarly, right? Similarly, कि what is the one thing that is missing from the society and the society can benefit? What I have that I can contribute, and then putting it all without any expectation of any return. That gives life meaning. Does that make sense? I have tried to give one example, but there is a lot of way that you can get into it, and Quran is the ultimate answer of all our questions. But stay with the questions, right? Stay with the questions because it will make you think. Yes. चलें फिर. Few quick things before we move to the final activity is that Allah Ta'ala has set a mizan, He has set a balance, He has created everything in balance. And He does not want this balance to be, misbalanced, so to say. लेकिन जब हम mismanaged होते हैं, जब हमारा self mismanaged होता है, this balance is, disrupted. And it leads to imbalance in not only our personal lives, but also in our spiritual lives. So I am unable to concentrate in my salah, which is okay. I think we all struggle, but the extent matters. Or I am unable to concentrate in my work, which I think we all struggle, but the extent matters. And when the self, like it's written over here as well, when self is mismanaged, it disrupts the mizan in our lives, leading to imbalance in all facets of our life. Again, so we have no focus and we are constantly distracted. So our energy and our focus is supposed to be allocated to areas of our life that deserves a hug from us, that deserves a right from us. Now, whether it is our own selves, whether it is our families, whether it is our work, whether it is our community, or whether it is our relationship with Allah Ta'ala. If any of these areas are neglected, and we are going to expand on this in much more detail in the next session, I have just connected it here because when I am not focused and I'm choosing distraction, I'm disrupting this balance. And then we suffer the consequence that we are suffering. That is why it is here. And we have to give all that we have to be in as much balance as possible so that we do not suffer from what we suffer. So inshallah, we are going to elaborate on this in much more detail, but I just thought that, let us connect this as well. Now, ठीक है, मतलब I don't have a lot of solutions for you guys, but for those who want a few solutions, these are some. Okay, what I can do to bring back focus and to bring back barakah and to bring back this mizan in my life, in my routine. And if I'm feeling mismanaged or I'm feeling distracted or I'm feeling lack of focus, then how can I little by little incorporate things that are absolutely fantastic, so to say, if even if it take years and even if a life is spent it's in a lot of struggle, even if we are going to choose any one of these things, or maybe each year we incorporate one thing, you will notice how life changes, right? Nishad, can I move on? Does this make sense? So these are some of the things that इसमें से आपको ये एक चुन लें, सब आपने नहीं करना है, नहीं तो फिर से हो जाएगा अरे मरियम फिर से सेल्फ मिसमैनेज्ड हो गया. तो एक लें एट अ टाइम, वन कोई भी ले लें जो आपको जो सबसे अच्छी लगती हो. एंड all these are from our scripture and they are of course undoubtedly going to work, and we don't need scientific proofs to prove our scripture. It works, and if we have been commanded certain things, whether it is okay, in Quran we say that the night is for sleep, हम assess करें हमारी life, are we maintaining this balance that Allah Ta'ala has said, or am I disrupting it? If I am disrupting it, then I need to bring it back little by little in balance. Does that make sense? Similarly, there are some other sunnahs as well. Sunnah is equal to barakah. The more sunnahs we adopt in our lives, the more unseen blessings I'm going to experience. I will be able to accomplish more in a very short period of time. And it will give me more time to areas of my life that are constantly being neglected क्योंकि time ही नहीं मिलता है, right? So Fitra-based life means the life on the innate pure disposition that Allah Ta'ala has created. That is what Fitra means. But it also means ke natural rhythm. His morning is for working and night is for sleep. There are duas from protection from laziness. Somebody mentioned laziness in the chat. There is a specific dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-hammi wal hazan wal ajzi wal kasal. That entire dua, if you analyze with meanings, you will see that it answers so many questions of our time, right? So many questions, from anxiety to worry to laziness to procrastination, everything, right? So that dua is something that can become a part of your daily routine. For people who are actually active after Fajr, they will know that the blessings, Allah Ta'ala has put a lot of blessings after the post Fajr time, and you will accomplish much more in your life if this particular habit can be incorporated. And it is hard because we are Mumbai people, और हमें रात में जिंदा रहने का बहुत चस्का लगा है, you know, so to say. But it took me 2 years to form this habit, and this is perhaps the best thing that has happened. You know, Allah Ta'ala has blessed. This is the best, one of the best things. It took 2 years, so of course, I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy, but it's gonna be worth it, right? There is a sunnah of Kailula. ऑफिस में जाके हमें ऐसे नहीं है कि लेट जाना है बीच में रास्ते पे, बिकॉज वी आर डूइंग सुनना। आप अपने चेयर पे बैठ के भी कर लें अगर आपको कोई रेस्ट रूम नहीं है। सिर्फ आपने रिक्लाइन होना है, 5-10 मिनट बस अपनी आईज बंद रखनी है, हेड डाउन करके रखना चाहते हैं वैसे कर लें। These short naps are very helpful to bring focus back into your life, right? So these are just few of the things that I wanted to brush up. You can take any one of these and start, right? So this is the last particular activity that we'll try to bring the entire session into this. Whatever we have done, the 3 activities जो हमने पहले की हैं, और this is the 4th one. So we'll try to summarize everything and wrap the session up through this activity. So these are the 4 Ds of life management, so to say. Some secular author, if I think it was Stephen Covey or someone else, who have designed it. And what this basically, कितने लोगों ने quadrant देखा हुआ है? बहुत लोगों ने, I think, जिन्होंने time management करने की कोशिश की होगी वो शायद इसको जानते हो. Anybody who is aware about this? No? ठीक है, फिर मैं समझा दूं. ठीक है. So you see that there is two quadrant, right? On the horizontal plane you see urgency, and on the vertical plane you see importance. सही है? तो जो quadrant 1 है, right? इसमें आप देखेंगे तो it says crisis, pressing problems, deadline. So all these nature में these are the things that needs to be done. So emergencies आ गई, करना ही पड़ेगा. डेडलाइन अप्रोच हो रही है, इस पे टाइम देना ही पड़ेगा. सो ये क्वाड्रेंट ऐसा है जो क्राइसिस क्वाड्रेंट है, कि मतलब we have to do it immediately. It's urgent also and it's important also. Does that make sense? This is urgent also and this is important also, yeah? Now quadrant 2. These are the things that are not urgent, but they are important, right? So this could involve your personal growth, this could involve your planning, this could involve preventive activities, relationship building, recreation. मतलब ये पूरी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो हम प्लान कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज ये अर्जेंट नहीं है लेकिन इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसलिए लाइफ में प्लान करके जो जो चीजें आपकी लाइफ में इंपॉर्टेंट है, whether it is your spirituality, whether it is your health, whether it is learning Quran, whether it is learning anything else, whether it is work, whether it is spending time with your children, जो भी important है आपके लिए, that particular thing forms part of quadrant 2. So this is your plan वाला quadrant. First quadrant कौन सा था? Do. ठीक है? You have to immediately do first quadrant. Second is plan. ठीक है? Now we are in the third quadrant. ये काम वो हैं जो अर्जेंट है, मतलब मैंने ये तुरंत तुरंत करना होता है, बट एक्चुअली दीज आर नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. तो ये सारे आप नेचर ऑफ टास्क देखेंगे तो इसमें सिर्फ एग्जाम्पल्स लिखा है. जब हम एक्टिविटी करेंगे तो हम इसको अपनी लाइफ में इंकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे. ईमेल्स हो गए, कॉल्स हो गए, कोई भी चिल करने जाना है कहीं पे, बस एवे इंटरप्शन हो गया कि बस किसी का रैंडमली अनप्लान्ड सा कोई कॉल आ गया, मतलब सो उठाना है मुझे तो मे बी इट इज अर्जेंट बट दीज आर नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट, राइट? और ऐसी चीजें हो सकती है कि some things like for example I'm taking this session, right? तो ये पीपीटी बनाना था, ठीक है, लेकिन इट वॉज अर्जेंट क्योंकि मुझे इट वॉज इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑल्सो, एक्चुअली नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं बोल सकते, बट दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वाड्रेंट यू विल सी व्हाई इट इज नोन एज डेलीगेट. कि कुछ ऐसी चीजें जो अगर अर्जेंट है लेकिन इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है तो क्या मैं इसको डेलीगेट कर सकता हूँ, चाहे मैं वो उसको, हो सकता है मेरे पास लोग नहीं हो करने के लिए, but maybe when I do this activity we'll understand कि maybe I can either put it in the some other quadrant if it is actually important or put it in quadrant number 4 which is known as delete. So quadrant number 4 is delete because यहाँ पे वो सारी activities होती हैं जिसमें हम engaged जरूर होते हैं, but they are not really important and they are actually not urgent also. But those activities are there and we are engaging in it, but it not necessarily be in our lives. So these other quadrant that is called as delete, right? Now, these are just some examples. Now, from everything that you have listed, right? Everything that you have listed in the previous 3 activities, आपने अपना quadrant खुद बनाना है. Meaning, कि कौन सी जो वो चीजें हैं जो मेरा सबसे ज्यादा टाइम कंज्यूम करना चाहिए. आउट ऑफ दीज 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स वेयर डू यू थिंक यू शुड स्पेंड योर टाइम द मोस्ट? सेकेंड, राइट? द प्लान क्वाड्रेंट. बट अक्सर ये हो जाता है कि हम जब प्लान नहीं करते हैं तो हम अक्सर अर्जेंट वाले क्वाड्रेंट में ऑपरेट करते रहते हैं, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग बिकम्स अर्जेंट, एवरीथिंग बिकम्स ओ माय गॉड, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है. और जब हम ये असेस नहीं कर पाते हैं कि ये चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है या नहीं इंपॉर्टेंट है, जब हम वो चीज को इवेल्युएट नहीं कर पाते हैं तो हम अक्सर नॉन इम्पॉर्टेंट चीजों को यहाँ पे पुश कर देते हैं. इसलिए वो सारी लिस्टिंग जो आपने इसके पहले 3 एक्टिविटीज में की थी उसके सामने यू कैन मेक अ जजमेंट कॉल कि कौन सा टास्क कहाँ जाना चाहिए. एंड आई होप जो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस थे वो कौन से क्वाड्रेंट में जाएंगे? द डिस्ट्रैक्शंस दैट आई चूज, I know it's ideal, but inshallah that is the exactly right. Delete. So not everything perhaps, but it is up to us कि कितना, कहाँ, कब, कैसे करना है. Does that make sense, guys? करें फिर. क्लियर है एक्टिविटी क्या करना है? एकदम क्लियर है? ठीक है, बढ़िया हो गया. 10 मिनट ले लीजिए फिर इंशाल्लाह that is pretty much it from my side and we'll wrap up.
So I hope that participants have completed this activity, and if not, we can do it later. Shall we move to the Q&A session, Maryam?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has questions, inshallah, any doubts, confusion, please feel free to ask, and you can type it in the chat as well. And I hope this was beneficial. Uh, with that, wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
So participants, do you have any questions? You can unmute yourself or ask the question in the chat box. So I think the participants have no question. They have asked during the
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, इतना अच्छा तो नहीं समझा है कि क्वेश्चंस ही नहीं है, बट पूछा करें क्वेश्चन, इतना मतलब इतना कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं होती है. But I hope that was helpful. Thank you, Zubia.
Yes, Jazakallah khairan, Maryam, for such a deep and enlightening and practical session. So, as there are no further questions, we now come to the conclusion of the second session of our series. On the behalf of the Professional Solidarity Forum, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Maryam Khan. We deeply appreciate the way you share your knowledge, practical strategies, and faith based guidance, making the session both interactive and inspiring. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to the entire team working behind the scenes to ensure smooth execution of this series. And finally, to our participants, thank you for your active participations and questions and genuine interest in learning. May Allah bless us all with clarity of mind, remove confusion, and guide us to make wise and confident decisions and use our time effectively. So, as you all know, we have a last session of this series to be take place on Sunday, 19th October. That is next week. So, in this upcoming section, Maryam will guide us for the third and final of the series, that is the illusion of work-life balance. So, I hope to see you all there, inshallah. That's how we conclude it. You may all leave. Yeah, we are going to end this.